Welcome, I'll be reacting to The Time Machine, 1960 version. It's been many years since I read the book, so I probably won't even notice any adaptation changes. All I remember, it was kind of scary, and there were like these people living underground and people living above ground that were like really super innocent. And it was kind of terrifying as a kid reading it, so that's probably why I never went back and reread it. As always, this is not a market substitute. Please support the original. Look at her poise. Beautiful.
Only comes in and picks at his food. But he did tell me about dinner tonight, sir, and left those instructions.
I really like her. She's a great actor.
Dinner is served, gentlemen.
The first sensible thing I've heard all evening. There's one thing I like about old George. He's got the best cellar in the south of England. And Mrs. Watchett is the finest cook in the world.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll drink to that.
Here we go. Back from the future.
Good Lord.
Look at the state of that waistcoat. Tell us the story.
I don't think George is referring to a new type of timepiece.
When I speak of time, gentlemen, I'm referring to the fourth dimension.
Go on, George.
He's like, yes, we have these stones in Scotland where you touch them and you end up in a different time. Yes, it's much more convenient in a box form.
You see, we can move in the other three. Up, down, forward, sideways, backward, as the doctor said. But when it comes to time, we are prisoners.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow me, Bridie?
Yes.
No.
He has cool friends. They're curious, intellectual, open to hearing about his new invention. Looks like a sewing machine. You know, the old pedal ones? Oh, it's a prototype for a larger version that you can sit in. Got it. Ooh, very steampunk. The general consensus is that H.G. Wells is kind of early steampunk, before it was really a thing.
I say, George, if you're going to start floating about in the future, aren't you going to rather mess things up for the rest of us?
No, the future's already there. It's irrevocable and cannot be changed.
That this cigar is the time traveler.
Oh, it's a working model. Hold on to that champagne.
Where did it go?
When?
But the time machine occupies the same space that it did.
So wouldn't logically you want to put it on the floor? Because up on the table, what if there's no table there in the future? Someone moved it, or there's no house. It would kind of crash. Just saying.
Are you all right, George?
Yes, I'm all right, Bridie.
Coming,
He
Bradwell?
seems like the kindest of the lot. And he has the best cape. You know what? This New Year's is on my bucket list of time travel. It'd be really fun to visit. 1899 to 1900. Plus, I already have the clothes for it. I love his bookcase.
I don't much care for the time I was born into. It seems people aren't dying fast enough these days. They call upon science to invent new, more efficient weapons to depopulate the earth.
It's only going to get worse.
Look, I just want to see the old century out by myself, that's all.
How about your way, George?
I'd be worried about him too if I was his friend.
You promise you'll not go out of the house tonight?
He won't be leaving the house. He might be leaving this time period.
Qui-Gon told me to stay in this cockpit, so that's what I'm gonna do.
Why don't you take the evening off and celebrate?
Well, thank you, sir, but if you're not needing me, I think I'll turn in early and get some sleep. If I can.
Okay, I love her even more now because that's what I do on most New Year's Eves. Just go to bed. Once in a while, I'll do a fun little movie watch. Like last year, I did The Mummy. And if you started at a particular time, exactly at midnight, they get to Hamanatra and say the famous line, "Here we go again." Ah. Wow. It's so beautiful. You've got this. Make the jump to light speed. Except in reverse, because you usually go here.
809.
It's burned
The
down.
candle, shorter by inches.
Whoa.
What if I went faster?
Do it. He's being fairly cautious, not going too quickly all at once. Oh, new dress. Ooh, I like that one.
This was intriguing.
I like how he has a time machine, and so far he's using it to look at the latest fashions. That's what I would do too.
I began to grow very
Love
fond of
it.
that mannequin.
Whoa, pretty good effects.
13 years ago. In the year of 1917, I stopped.
Oh, of course, the war. Not a good year to come out and look. Get back in your time machine. Not a good year. Surprising that no one bought the house. But I guess most men were off at the front at that point. Just kick your way out, it's fine. There you go. Fortunately, men's fashion did not change drastically, so he'd kind of fit in.
I think you're confusing me with my father, sir. Yes, there was quite a resemblance. I'm James Philby.
The little kid.
He was killed in the war
Oh, yeah.
a year ago. Father just refused to liquidate it.
Good for him.
He felt positive the owner would return someday. Have you been at the front?
Front? What front?
Why, the war, of course. Are you sure you're all right, sir?
He's like, no, the future just got worse. This is depressing, but you're in the wrong year. You need to actually don't go forward too much because then you'll end up in World War II. Yikes. Time is a minefield of wars, isn't it? No wonder he wants to go far, far into the future. That makes sense. Disturbingly relevant film right now. It's like we can't get away from it. The neat thing is that unlike H.G. Wells, they actually know what the fashion will change into on the mannequin. I don't know if that part was in the book, but they have the benefit of actually knowing for the costume designs. Oh, the Blitz.
And the war with Germany was still waging. Now in the air with flying machines.
That's depressing. I mean, for time travelers to see it just get worse and worse. I hope he doesn't get stuck inside a wall or something.
My curiosity compelled me to stop.
Ah. Air raid. Ah. You're better off getting in your time machine, though, and getting out of here. Let's not wait for the nuclear explosion or whatever it is.
You mean the horrible screeching?
It wasn't constructed for its aesthetic value, young man, but to warn silly young fools like you to get into the shelter. You'd better hurry or the mushrooms will be sprouting.
Yeah.
Mushrooms?
You need to get out of here. Whoa. Great model work. I wonder what they used for the lava. It's kind of like cake batter. He is not having a good New Year's.
I prayed.
Okay, time to stop.
I had to stop and find out.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh no, the time machine. You've got to get it fixed before you wander around. Don't just leave it out there. Someone might take it. You need to get that like under a bunch of branches. He's going to get into so much trouble just leaving it out there in the middle of everything. Yeah, clever. At least no one can use it, but they could still take it.
Without any sign of weeds or briars.
Beautiful.
Trees and vine.
Ooh, it opened. What a set. It looks a little bit like the gardens at Portmeirion. I know it's not, but just the general style of it. That's where they filmed The Prisoner. If you've only seen The Prisoner, you're probably like, what? That was mostly lawns. But at Portmeirion, there's a huge garden area that looks almost exactly like this. It's kind of a jumble of like English country garden jungle, I guess you could say. It's really pretty. Oh, the Top Worlders. I can't remember their technical name. But like they're really innocent. Not quite all there. Yeah. This must be the love interest. They're just all languid. The first sign that not everything is okay. Such a gentleman. Mm-hmm.
There is no one older.
You mean nobody ages in this land of yours? What's your name?
Weena. Spelled?
Spell right. Can't you write?
No?
What are your people called?
Eloy.
Oh, right. Okay. I forgot what they were called.
Oh, why? What's wrong?
It's getting dark.
You'll get to see the other people if you stay out here. The clever but cruel ones.
Perhaps curiosity has died. Perhaps even courtesy has died. But I have come a long way, and I would like to know a few things. Why?
We have no government.
Where do you get your food and clothing? Do you have books?
They don't know how to read or write. Why would they have books?
Yes, they do tell me all about you.
Yeah, I don't trust people who don't read either. Don't disintegrate them. Okay, no, don't destroy them. Be careful. That's all the books they have. In their defense, everything's basically on Kindle now. So I could see eventually books just become a curiosity because everyone just reads on their computer or their phone or whatever equivalent 3D VR or whatever it is in the future. And if that crumbles, like there's a big EMP pulse or whatever, like Dark Angel had, wiping out all the electronic versions of books, I could see something like this happening where it's like there's this huge gap and all we have are these little artifacts that no one knows how to read.
I'm going back to my own time, but at least I can die among men.
It's gonna be gone. Someone took it. Because the other group actually is curious. Look for a device. You're a man of intellect, you can figure it out. Or just use a rock.
No one opens it. Only the Morlocks.
Morlocks, right.
The Morlocks? Well, who are the Morlocks?
They give us the food we eat and the clothes we wear. We must obey their command.
Why have they taken my machine? Help me gather some wood.
Okay, but don't light it in the middle of dry grass like that. It could get out of control fast.
I'd hoped to take back the knowledge and the advancement that mankind had made. And instead, I find vegetables.
No, don't touch it.
No knowledge of fire. I'm terribly sorry.
We've had our dark ages before, and this is just another one of them.
Oh, that's very hopeful.
All it needs is for someone to show you the way out.
Come this way.
A museum. Ah.
There is nothing left to fight with and few of us left to fight. The atmosphere has become so polluted with deadly germs that it can no longer be breathed. Stockpiles are rapidly diminishing, and when they are gone, we must starve.
That's cheery.
The Morlocks maintained them and bred them like cattle, only to take them below when they reached maturity.
Oh. Oh, so sweet. Oh, there she is. Oh, no, it wasn't her. Oh dear. Hurry! Oh, so close.
It is all clear.
What about the ones who went below? How do you think they're gonna come back?
They never come back.
Of course, now he has 2 mission objectives. Find Weena and the others and get his time machine back. That's complicated for one person. It's admirable that he's in shape like this, though. Since he spends so much time just experimenting in his laboratory, it means he also had the discipline to take time to work out. Oh, a torch!
So this was the destiny of the Eloy.
Dinner?
Cannibalism.
Come to your senses, all of you!
Ah. If he's Edwardian, he knows how to box. Ah. Sensitive to light. You're gonna run out of matches, though. You should light your torch. Yeah, there we go. Haha. Weena, get the torch. Oh no. Ah. Uh-oh, where's the time machine? Yes. Even though his original goal was to get his machine back, the minute he saw that people were in trouble, he just completely forgot about it and was like, we've got to get these people out and get them safe, even if I can't get back to my own time. Like, that's secondary right now. That's a real hero right there. Yeah. Good job, everyone.
Come on, all aboard.
Wow, I forgot how exciting this was. What?
I would love to see your time.
As a matter of fact, there is one woman.
Oh.
But she looks after my
The
house for me, and
housekeeper.
she's 62 years old and all wrinkled and nothing like you.
Something's going to go wrong. It's a trap. They just wanted him to finish it. No. Push the lever. Another happy landing. He's like, it's my house, I'll just break it. Fix it later. I want a greenhouse laboratory. That's such a cool setup. I like how the housekeeper's like, well, that story calls for sherry. And biscuits.
It's not hard for a man to lose a little weight now and again.
The flower? Uh-huh.
You were always interested in botany. Try and match that with any species known today.
I don't think I can.
He believes.
Goodbye, David.
He's going back for Weena. You might want to change before getting back in your time machine, though. At least bring a coat this time.
But the Moorlocks moved it. They dragged it across the lawn, right into the Sphinx. And Weena
Was outside.
and helped the Eloi build a new world.
Yeah.
He must have taken something with him.
Books.
Except 3 books.
Yeah.
Which 3 books?
I don't know.
At least one book on agricultural practices. Very practical. A medical book, definitely. What would the 3rd book be? Shipbuilding. That would be my 3rd book.
Do you think he'll ever return?
Mm-mm. She's like, but will I have a job? Like, do I get a paycheck now? We don't get to find out the 3 books? That was so good. The only bad thing is that it ended too soon. I wanted like a sequel or a longer movie. I absolutely loved the semi-steampunk vibe with the time travel, all the gears, just kind of an Edwardian dropped into all these different time periods trying to figure it out. And his just irate rage that people no longer read. I'm right there with him. This is probably the first time travel movie where I'm like, yes, I want to come along too. Most of the time it's like, oh, this is entertaining to watch, but I don't want to be part of this time travel experience. But no, I want a second seat in there and I want to come. I found some fun threads online of which 3 books he probably took, because apparently we never found out. Popular ones include carpentry, plumbing, electricity. Yeah, these people think the same way I do, very practical. Post in the comments, which books would you bring? If you were him and could only fit 3, what would you go for? The costuming was surprisingly good. How he was sitting there just watching fashions change. That was amazing. I could just sit there and watch that whole sequence multiple times. I love everything about his character, just the way he responds to things, his group of eccentric but very fun to be around friends that are so different from each other. The housekeeper was just the best. I need her in my house. I just want to live in this world. I loved it. There is at least one newer adaptation. I'm not sure if it's worth watching. If you've seen it, let me know. But this was outstanding. I was surprised by how good it was. I mean, it's H.G. Wells. It couldn't be bad. This was just, oh, I loved it. I could just sit here and rewatch it 3 more times.